Guys like the nerdier side of nutrition, I have the article for you, okay? Because you've heard the old axiom, calories in equals calories out, okay? That's the simple, that is just the highest level interpretation of weight loss, weight gain, okay? Body composition interpretations, okay? That's basically what it is. But you take a look at the different calories that are out there. Okay, you take a look. It's like, how calorically dense is a pound of butter compared to a pound of popcorn? I know, both terrible examples, but still, okay, it's substantially different. Okay, oh, I just eat based on weight. I got my little food scale out there, and I just can't seem to keep off the weight. Well, if you do the exact same comparison like I did at the beginning there, you're going to realize that not all foods are created equally, okay? So now we're just going to throw it back to some of my area of expertise, and we're going to take a look at the science of this stuff. All right. Calorie is a calorie, at least from a thermodynamic standpoint. It's defined as the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius, 2.2 pounds by 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit. But when it comes to health, your body's energy balance, not all calories are equal. For example, some studies have reported that diets that are high in protein, low in carbohydrate, or a combination of the two yield greater weight loss. I would tend to agree, okay, and that's how I've lived my life for a long time. Yield greater weight loss than diets with other levels of fat, protein, and carbohydrates. If every calorie in food were the same, you wouldn't expect to see weight loss differences among people who eat the same number of calories that are doled out in different types of foods. Dietitians like the author, not me, okay? I dabble in diet and nutrition, okay? I just don't have any fancy schmancy accreditation on it. No, there are many factors that influence what a calorie means from your body. Here's what we understand about calories and nutrition so far. In the late 1800s, okay, we're going way far back there, and the keto idea was just a twinkle in somebody's eye. Chemist W.O. Atwater and his colleagues devised a system to figure out how much energy, how many calories various foods contain. Basically, burned up food samples and recorded how much energy they released in the form of heat. Not every bit of energy in food can combust in a lab is actually available to your body, though. Yes, what scientists call metabolized energy is the difference between the total energy of the food consumed and the energy that passes out of your body, undigested in feces and urine. Sorry for being so spicy. For each of the 3 macronutrients, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, Atwater devised a percentage of the calories they contained that would actually be metabolizable. Interesting. Per gram, protein has the least available energy at 42%. Fat is in the middle with 95%, and carbohydrates with the most at 97%. And then, yes, I made reference to this a few different times, but how many calories per gram of the different macronutrients? You've got protein at 4 calories per gram. You got fat at 9 calories per gram. And then you got carbohydrates at 4 calories per gram. Isn't that right? Oh, brother. And then also, there's another one that's in there that's not very terribly popular, but alcohol is a little bit different. So for every gram of alcohol, I know it's a weird calculation method, but just go with me on this one. It's 7 calories per gram. Okay, it's not in there, at least not right now. But if you take a look around out there, it's available to be found. I'll just save you the time. According to the Atwater system, 1 gram of each macronutrient is estimated to provide a certain number of calories. The U.S. Department of Agriculture still uses these calculations today, so does every major nutritional book and directory as well. So don't think that you're special, U.S. Department of Agriculture. Also the same people who created the food pyramid, the biggest scam and one of the worst things that could ever happen to the standard American diet, but whatever. How much energy you use. What you eat can affect what scientists call your body's energy expenditure. That's how much energy it takes to keep you alive. All right, that seems pretty important. The energy you use breathing, digesting, keeping your blood flowing, and so on, along with with what you exert moving your body. You might have heard this referred to as metabolism, though metabolism is actually a somewhat broader concept. Yes, exactly. Diet quality can alter the body's energy expenditure, which is also called the thermic effect of food. You probably heard of that before, but they're going to go into a little bit more detail. For example, in one study, people eating the same number of calories per day, but on either a low carbohydrate diet or a low fat diet, have differences in total energy expenditure of about 300 calories per day. eating very low carb diets use the most energy. Yes, because breaking down 9 calories is much different than breaking down 4 calories per the same mass of food. See why you get that extra added benefit of eating more healthy fats in your diet. And of course, we've broken down the difference between fats, healthy fats, and inflammatory fats out there. But that's a different topic for previous videos, and I'm sure more into the future as well, because it's an important distinction to make. Okay. In another study, high-fat diets led to lower total energy expenditure, how many calories you burned, than high-carb diets did. Other researchers reported that although substituting carbs for fat didn't alter energy expenditure, people who increased their protein intake to 30 to 35% of their diet used more energy. Yeah, because your body, it can't just break down protein for energy purposes. Protein is used for muscular and connective tissue repair. It doesn't want to be used as energy. It's the body's third choice, And if it's the only thing that's available, yeah, it'll put it through a special energy cycle, but it always wants to use fats in the absence of carbohydrates. But whenever carbs are available, because fats have to be broken down in the simplest of terms, has to be broken down into sugar, and that's what carbohydrates are when they enter your body anyway. So whatever's easiest your body's going to do. Naturally, you're a lazy creature. I'm just speaking about the different processes that happen, but whatever. In general, diets high in carbohydrates, fat, or both produce a 4 to 8% increase in energy expenditures, calorie burned, while meals high in protein cause an 11 to 14% increase above the resting metabolic rate for the reasons I just outlined. Protein has a higher thermic effect because it is harder for the body to break down. See, you don't have to take my advice, even though I give you good advice. You can take it from somebody who is theoretically a registered dietitian, which is the gold standard when it comes to nutrition advice. Although these variations aren't huge, they could contribute to the obesity epidemic by encouraging a subtle average weight gain. Yeah, exactly. That's why vegans have given enough time. Don't really have that good of body composition, but another topic for another time. Quality of the calories you eat. Here we go. Dietitians pay close attention to the food's glycemic index and glycemic load. That is, how quickly and how much it will increase your blood glucose levels. A rise in blood glucose triggers a release of insulin, which in turn influences energy metabolism and storage of excess energy as fat. And you try to mitigate that stuff, by understanding said indexes and said loads. Foods such as cakes, cookies, chips, white bread, starchy carbohydrates, starchy foods are high on the glycemic index / load, Green vegetables, raw peppers, mushrooms, legumes are low, Berries as well, if you're looking at fruits as well, because high on the glycemic index, you got bananas, you got your sweeter fruits, and then most berries, most watery vegetables, they're on the lower side of the glycemic index, not spiking that insulin, therefore just making the energy that they provide for your body when you consume them. They don't trigger the need to store them, to figure out they don't send your body into a state of soft shock in order to figure out what I got to do with all these cucumbers. Reward centers in the brain light up when people eat high glycemic foods and loads, and that becomes addictive, Something we discussed last week, I think. I can't quite remember. Highlighting the pleasurable and addictive effect of foods such as candy or white breads. The fiber content of food is another thing to consider. Your body can't digest fiber. That's true, sort of, kind of, Found in plant foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and beans for energy, and trace amounts in beef, in meat as well, but very, very trace. So foods high in fiber, more so in organ meat. Sorry, to interject a bit. In fiber tend to have less metabolizable energy and help you feel full on fewer calories. Exactly. And that's your differentiation between soluble and insoluble fiber, but another topic for another time. Empty calories, those from foods with minimal or no nutritional value, those are, that are just simply macronutrients and go on your way. Well, mostly you can kind of figure out which 2 types of macronutrients they're mostly laced with no vitamins, minerals, or any other micronutrients present, are another factor to consider. Those are things such as white sugar, soft drinks, and many ultra-processed snacks don't provide much, if any, benefit in the form of protein, vitamins, minerals, despite having high calorie counts. The opposite would be nutrient dense foods such as high in nutrients or fiber while still being relatively low in calories, such as spinach, apples, and beans. Apples, yeah, I guess, okay, but when it comes to the vitamin and nutrient profile, there are better delivery methods out there. Mostly anything sans the fructose, but you're splitting hairs at this point. And don't think of empty calories as neutral. Nutritionists consider them harmful calories because they have a negative effect on health. Some of the biggest contributors to weight gain are potato chips and sugar-sweetened beverages. On the other hand, foods that are irreversibly associated with weight gain are vegetables. Associated. Yeah, that didn't make much sense. Associated with weight gain are vegetables, whole grains, fruits, and nuts, and yogurt. So why are those associated? Why are the obvious, weight gainers? Okay, the potato chips and sugar-sweetened vegetables, yes, like that Sour Patch carrot, those that are all the rage because they're easily consumable, and also, like it said earlier in the article, triggers that pleasurable and addictive sensation in the brain. It is indisputable that for weight loss, the difference between the number of calories consumed and the number of calories exerted through exercise is the most important factor. Yeah, exactly. But don't fool yourself. While weight plays a role in health and longevity, weight loss alone does not equate to health. Exactly. You need to have the proper amount of underlying nutrition. Those micronutrients play an incredible role in making sure that you're properly nutritious, right? There you go. No, because there's all around the world, I don't think that it's necessarily central to the United States, but there's an obesity epidemic. But there's also, people are walking around 3, 4, 5, well, they aren't really walking at that size, but at that size, that's 600 pounds, they get their own television show. But if you're in between the two, there's also a bunch of people walking around that are malnourished because what they're eating is just calorie dense, and they are for partaking in such as well, being equally dense, but they don't have adequate amounts of vitamin D, so they get sick all the time. They're walking around, carrying excess weight on their body because all of the fat that they're consuming is of the omega-6 variety, highly inflammatory fats. They aren't doing anything to help their body. Partly because they don't know any better, and partly because they're just lazy, and stuff that tastes good is what they want to eat because they have no self-control, and that's a big problem. But whatever, another topic for another time, and I think I've said that enough. But now you have the more nerdy side of this. Now you have the underlying methodology, Now you don't have to take everything that I say at face value. I provided you with the resources and scientific checks. So with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.